Hello and welcome to Talk from Superheroes. Hey everybody, I'm Andrew Ivemy.
And I'm Diana McCullum.
And you're listening to Talk from Superheroes, where every week we discuss a piece of heroic television or film. And this week on the podcast, a big one, kind of part of a big summer month of blockbusters. We're talking about Superman today.
We're talking about Superman, and this is usually the part where we go into like a little bit about a title. Not much to say.
Just a clean Superman. You know who he is. You know the movie.
This is just fucking Superman, guys.
It's just Superman.
Don't even worry about anything else.
It's pretty iconic.
I really like it. I can't remember the last time we covered a movie that was just person's name.
Yeah.
Like, when we're like, not a sequel, we're rebooting, we're here.
It's Superman. You know who he is.
Just Superman.
You know what he does.
You guys know who he is.
He's pretty iconic. So we're talking about that today on the podcast. This is a new film. Anytime that we cover a new TV show or movie, we like to give you a spoiler-free review. So in case you're on the fence about seeing it, not sure if it's worth your time, or just want a taste of the episode while you're on your way to the theater, we're going to give you a spoiler-free review. Then, once you hear the theme music, we will be in our spoiler-filled section. Before we get into the spoiler-free review, I will remind you, if you're listening to this the week it comes out, and you are in the Vancouver area, I'll be performing stand-up comedy in a special one-night-only show in Vancouver at Chill-X Studios. Be sure to grab your tickets. They're available through my social media and the link in the description of this episode. I hope to see some fans there. But let's get into a spoiler-free review. Superman. Diana, did you like it?
I did like it. It's not a love, but it's a pretty high like, and it's a very relieved like, because the things I don't like about it are fine. And I was really worried that I was going to hate this movie, and I had no faith in James Gunn as the person to bring Superman back, just especially because, he's taken on a lot in the DCU. He's written it all. And the things we've seen so far didn't fill me with hope. Creature Commandos was wildly immature and sexist, and I didn't enjoy a lot of it. So I was like, oh no, Superman's going to be bad. I quite enjoyed this. I think Superman was hopeful and bright and colorful. The performances are great. I love most of this casting. I think it really feels wonderful and joyful and nice. It's a fun movie. I think there's structural problems that I don't like, and I think there's character development problems. But I'm so forgiving because I thought this was going to be terrible. I'm not gonna lie. So when I mostly liked it for the most part, I was like, oh, thank God. This is really nice. And it just feels nice. And he feels like Superman. I think the action isn't great for the most part. I think there's one great action sequence that's really memorable. And then other than that, it's just fly around, throw people. But I think there's great performances. There's a couple really good laughs. It's cute. It's got a little bit of a message. I would like more of a message, but it's as much as I think I can get from James Gunn. So I'm pretty happy overall with Superman. I had a good time. I think the performers are great. I think the casting is great. It's fun and different, and it's at least got joy and optimism, which was a really nice change. Andrew, did you like Superman?
I loved it.
A
love. A hard love. I want to go back and see it today. I adored this. And similar to you, I wasn't expecting to. And sometimes it's nice to kind of go into a movie with a lowered expectation to a certain degree, because I agree with you on the James Gunn note where it was Creature Commandos. I understand that it was tonally meant to be, a little more R-rated, but it actually felt like a bit of a regression from James Gunn back into more edgelordy ways that were actually borderline problematic. And so I didn't feel a lot, and I definitely had some big concerns coming into this. And your feeling of going in not expecting much and the things that you expected not to like were fine. I actually got so won over that I'm just going to say I was wrong. I was wrong. The things that I thought would be bad in this, not only they were the correct choice, I completely was wrong in what I expected to fail in this. Everything was the correct choice. I loved it. I want to see it again. It won me over top to bottom. There's 3 silly things that I think I'll kind of dunk on or joke about in this episode. Just one or two little like, what's that about? But other than that, like, I love the tone. It's hopeful. It's optimistic. I think it does have, I mean, you know, it's not super deep. It's Be Kind, but they do a good job of executing that and take some edgier stances in executing that story than I expected. I think I cried like 4 times watching this.
Whoa.
It really got me, and it's one of those things where I do want to see it again right now, and I love it. I don't know if this will be a like forever love, like one that I kind of always, you know, years from now to be like, oh, I want to put this on a Sunday and afternoon and just kind of like feel good. I don't know if it's always that, because it's also a movie that I exactly needed to see, and I feel like the world would enjoy and see right now. It's a love right now. Whether that will stand the testament of time, I don't know, but I think it'll always be great, and right now it's a love.
I can totally see that. Like, this is, I don't know if this is, I think this is a polarizing movie in that, like, people would hate it, but in a way I kind of can see, like, not hating it for, like, what it says, but I can see it, people being like, if someone didn't like this because it's like a little silly and weird, I'd be like, that's totally valid.
Yes.
And some of the things in it are a little weird for me, but I'm also at the same time like, I see why people would like the things I didn't like though.
Yeah.
This is like a movie that I think is polarizing in that way, where I'm like, I think some of these things aren't bad, but that I didn't like them.
Yes, yes. And I think that there will be some things that we can reasonably agree or disagree on in this episode that I might have loved and you might have, because we're reasonable people.
We are reasonable people.
And there
we know Superman's an immigrant.
Yeah, yeah. There are unreasonable people out there talking about this movie right now, but regular listeners of the podcast, you know we're not those people. When we cover recent Star Wars films and we're like, we think there's some problems. We're not like, they made Luke a cuck. Like, we're not that... Those people are. So,
we deleted the famous Luke is a cuck episode.
We deleted
you won't
that.
Find
That's
it.
gone.
It's gone
that is
from
gone.
The internet,
it was
guys.
a 3-hour episode.
Yeah, we've changed. Thank you for staying with us on our journey. I don't remember how many years ago that movie was, but I don't think it's enough for us to have changed.
A lifetime. But yeah, the people who do not like the moral of this movie are wrong as humans and just as people walking around in the world. But people who are like, it's a little too silly for me, I could understand that. It is
That's valid. Yeah, saying Superman shouldn't be a good guy who does good things, not valid. Saying monkeys on typewriters is silly is valid. Or whatever silly thing happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, can it be spoiled?
Yeah, it can be spoiled.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some stuff.
Yeah, I think that there are...
It's a giant superhero tentpole movie.
There's a lot going on. There's a few surprises, some twists and turns, some emotional journey that if you're into the movie, you'll want to be there for. And then, some plot twists and some goofs. And go in fresh if you can.
Go in fresh if you can. This is all you need to know. It's a love for Andrew. It's a high like for Diana. That's all. If you're listening to this podcast, that's all you need.
That's all you need. All right. Well, that's going to do it for the spoiler-free section. Now let's enter the spoiler-filled section of the podcast. Let's talk more about the new Superman. All right, we have seen Superman. We both enjoyed it. Me a little bit more than yourself, but what a refreshing viewing experience, though, from what I think both of our expectations were.
Wildly refreshing. Yeah, I mean, I think it's colorful, but it's not just colorful. It's like hopeful and it's kind. But it's also not kind. Like, it deals with like some issues that are hard to swallow. Or not swallow, but just like don't make me feel nice as they're happening. I don't like when people are mean to Superman. It doesn't make me feel good.
Sure.
But the movie is just like the whole theme of the movie is it doesn't matter who you are, it matters what you do. And if you do good things, you're a good person. I'm like, that's all you need. Fuck, that's Superman, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, that is Superman, isn't it?
That's Superman. And yeah, I didn't think James Gunn was the person to do it in any way. Like, he's made some great movies. Guardians, The Suicide Squad are actually like really good, but they're very much not who Superman is. And I had no faith that he was going to do a good job here.
I agree with that. That was a big concern going into this. I I don't want to fully relitigate what our Creature Commandos episode was, but we'll say that, like, you know, that was well performed but uneven and a little bit edgelordy and this and that. And James Gunn, even at his best, has only ever made one theme of a film, and all of his movies are the story of, I used to be a piece of shit, and now I'm trying to be a slightly less piece of shit. That's every story he has ever told is some version of, I used to be a piece of shit, and now I'm a different degree of a piece of shit.
I'm on my second chance.
Yes.
Is the James Gunn
story.
That's usually his framework.
Yeah, it's not usually, I nailed it out of the gate and I'm going to continue trying to nail it as a good person. It's not the story that he normally tells. So we didn't have high hopes in that regard. And I think he does nail the optimism and the hope and just the sincerity. It's a very sincere movie, and I really enjoy that about it. It's not hiding anything about who it is. It's just like, yeah, we're sincere, we're nice, this is Superman.
It is sincere. I will say one of my early negatives is, I think, maybe thinking of James Gunn's framework of, like, we're on the second chance. He really does start this movie literally with Superman in a fall from grace at his low point, and I don't really enjoy that. I don't like how abrupt this movie starts. There's no sense of, like, what the world is, who any of the characters are yet. He crashes down, and it's like, he's been Superman for 3 years, and we don't get any sense of the world. We're just like, he's at his lowest point. I'm like, what was his upper points? I don't want to, that's not how structure works. And it's interesting, and, like, it's kind of interesting, and it's, like, a bold choice, but I didn't personally enjoy it very much, just starting, like, mid-fight that kind of doesn't go anywhere, and then not really getting a sense of, like, when did he invade? When did he stop an invasion? What does this world feel like? What's Superman's, like, life like before it got bad? Is kind of a sense I needed. But that's going to be my first, like, off the top, like, I would have liked a little bit more setup.
Okay. I understand that wasn't for you. Respectfully, that's one of the things I adore. I absolutely love it. I think that it's perfect.
The on-screen text actually ruled, though.
Oh,
the on-screen
we
text?
are on the opposite page. That I'm like, the on-screen text came up, and literally I let out a sigh and went, oh, no. It sucked shit. I hated it. I was immediately like, oh my God, it's the exact cheeseball idiot thing that we thought this movie was going to be. I hated the text.
I liked the text. I liked that it was a little bit cheeky. Like, yeah, I would rather have had actual, like, filmed backstory told to me, but just, like, 30 years ago, 3 years ago, 3 weeks, 3 seconds ago, I was like, it's actually pretty cute. I'm actually like, that's cute.
Wow, we are on the complete opposite spectrum.
I mean, I thought you liked everything. So.
Well, this was one of the small goofs where I'm just like, you can delete this 3 seconds. Why is this here? The movie starts the way it starts, and it's a world that's already moving, like every story that's ever told, and we know who Superman is. Why is the number 3 so important? Why does this go on so long? What is the rhythm of this? None of it's relevant or is needed to start this movie. It's just like 3 minutes ago he got beat up. I'm like, yeah, contextually I would have understand that by all the blood. Like, I was seething hate at this title card, but I'm glad that you liked the silliness of it or whatever it was, that it connected with you.
I liked the beats of it. Like, yeah, if it's my favorite never shown an actual montage of something before. Like, it's actually got, like, character and charm. It's not a Star Wars scroll that's like, let me tell you about the Trade Federation. It's like, I've got, like, an idea of this. It's more poetic, and there's a little bit of humor here. So I liked the on-screen scroll, the on-screen text, but I would have preferred to have just seen it.
Okay. I'm glad see, now here's why I'll argue I'm glad that we didn't see it. And this is going to kind of bridge into a bigger thing about the movie as well, is that I truly love that this movie feels like picking up a comic book off of a shelf. In terms of, like, you know, one of the concerns that we had when we were talking about, like, concerns we had going into this movie and not having high hopes is that the previous DCEU, a lot of the complaints of it was that it was bleak, dark, and that they tried to do too much too fast to catch up to Marvel. And this movie, definitely from the trailers and all the promotional, you could see that it was bright and hopeful, which responds to one of the criticisms of the prior iteration of the DCEU. But there was a fuck ton of characters.
I was really worried about all the characters. years.
And really worried to be like, it's the same mistake again of trying to do everything to catch up to where Marvel has been, despite the fact that we're in the decline of Marvel right now. But what I really like is that old DC and Marvel now, when they struggle and fail, it's like every new character or like, hey, this is someone else. It feels like a commercial for their Disney Plus show or a like, hey, we're polling the audience to see if you want to see their movie. Whereas this felt like just grabbing a comic book this week from the shelf where it's like, yeah, Superman exists where all these people are, and they can or cannot be part of his story. And we're not pitching you the Guy Gardner spinoff. We're not pitching you the Mr. Terrific show on HBO Max. These are just people who are in and around his world, and they will or won't show up again. And it's up to you as an audience to kind of catch up and be around. And I like that the movie just starts with him in the middle of a fight. It really feels like being like, I haven't read a Superman comic book in a while, and going into a comic book shop and just picking up an issue and to be like, oh, he's in the middle of a fight with Ultraman. Okay, here's the story. And that's all you need as an audience member. Even if you're not a comic reader, we know enough about his backstory, who he is, what's going on. And maybe even then I'm more okay with the text where it almost feels like the inside cover of a comic book page to be like, yeah, you don't need that for every issue, but maybe that's just kind of a more generic thing that's on the back of a DC Comics page, you know?
I get where you're coming from, and I will half agree. I don't think the Justice Gang needed anything else. I loved this edition of the Justice Gang. I think all the characters were really fun. I agree. It felt like they lived in this world, and I wasn't being pitched any shows or movies for these characters. They were like, no, they're part of this story and this world. This isn't for a next thing. And that actually felt really nice to be like, oh, I think I can just watch this movie.
Yeah.
And not worry and not be like, take notes for the next thing. I have to remember that Mr. Terrific uses the Terrific balls or spheres. Sorry, they're spheres. So it didn't feel like homework. It just felt like these were nice characters additions to the thing. I still completely disagree about starting mid-fight, especially at a fight he's losing for the first time. I feel like I've missed an issue of a comic book. I feel like I picked up issue 2. And it just is so disorienting in a way that I did not enjoy. Like, you can't... A movie has to start and be like, this is the status quo of a character, and the status quo is not that he gets beaten all the time. This is a huge life moment for him, and I need to feel the lead up to this. So I agree about everything about the other metahumans, though. I think they were introduced and lived in this world in a really nice way.
Okay. I think like a final thought on like why also I kind of like, I get what you're saying about the like starting at a dark point. It didn't feel like a dark point, and that's why I liked it. Yes, he was losing a fight, but in a way that we weren't meant to take as a serious threat. It was just like, oh no, oh, my dog's jumping on me. And then he gets blasted by sun. He's like, gosh, that didn't go great. And when I heard the first gosh, I was like, I'm in. I'm fully in. You've nailed the tone. I can't remember if it was gosh or golly, but I heard it. I'm like, I'm in.
Probably a dang, maybe?
I think it was gosh or golly. It was a G. But I think that it was not meant to be like the third act of a story we didn't see, of the like, this is his dark night of the soul where he needs to go think about what it means to lose a fight. It's just him going, oh, gosh.
Aw, beans.
And I think that is fine. That is a like, I bet you're wondering how I got here type of a like, it's a Thor Ragnarok, I'm spinning in front of Serta, and it's just a like, oh no, I'm at a weak point. Not really. Who gives a shit? We're having a fun story. So I like.
To be fair, they flash back after that in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But I think it was a fine way to start it for me because it didn't seem like a sincere dark night of the soul for me. It felt just a like, beans. Beans.
All right. Well, we haven't convinced each other, but good start.
Yeah. But yeah, tonally, I love David Cornsweet's Superman.
Oh my God, I love David Cornsweet's Superman, and I love Rachel Brosnahan's Lois, and I love them together.
They've got chemistry.
Oh boy, do they? And I hardly ever notice chemistry, and I was like, these two have it, and I love his Superman. I love his Clark and his Superman. I loved when they went to do like the interview, and his voice just subtly shifted into Superman voice, and I'm like, that was very cool. It's not this huge change, but it's like, that's the Superman voice, and this is Clark.
Yeah.
It's just like a little bit, the chest is just a little bit higher.
Yeah, the air comes out a slightly different place.
The air comes out, but he's such a lovely Superman. He's got like this like he's charming, but it's clumsily charming, and he's hopeful, but it's not idiotically hopeful, and he's a little bit corny. Like, you're right, he says "dang," and he's just very, very Kansas wholesome, like he is in the comics and in some of the cartoons, like the animated cartoon Superman.
Superman doesn't do socials. Are you talking about yourself in the third person? Well, you can't use that.
No, I'm trying it out. I've been working on it.
Him yelling, you can't use that while doing an interview with Lois is so good.
Him not being able to turn off the record button, and which button stop? Like, over and over, he couldn't find the stop button. That's I actually think that's my favorite scene in the whole movie. This long Lois and Clark scene where they're just like,
it's a play.
Relationshiping. Yeah, it's just this long, there's no distractions. It's actually going to be a negative for me later after this scene, is that I think like this never happens again in this movie. There's never just a quiet personal scene again, really. It's always like a little chaotic and everything's moving and everything's loud. But having at least one scene with these two just like connecting, but then slightly disconnecting, and they are different people, but they're strong in different ways, but they really like each other, and they've nailed these characters.
Yes,
nailed these characters.
And kudos to Rachel and David playing Superman and Lois, because this scene is perfect. It is also a house of cards. It is written with everything that is so hard. If these two actors didn't have chemistry, this is the scene where the entire movie falls apart. It's a bold scene to write because there's like 9 different things happening. There's the Superman versus Clark kind of play. There's the sincerity of love and I'm making you breakfast for dinner relationship between them. There is this sexual charge chemistry of the entrance. There is this combative nature of Lois being a better journalist than him.
She absolutely is.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. But him being defensive as being bad at PR while dealing with a better journalist who's someone who he loves and having to deal with the layer of journalist and Superman and relationship. And one thing that's very hard, I think, for a lot of like actors playing lovers, love interests in film and television, is combative love interest is something where, like, if there's not a sincere chemistry underneath, it actually just seems like some people who are abusive to one another who then kind of fuck.
Yeah, who don't like each other and are maybe using each other. It can come off very poorly. It can come off like Jimmy and Eve.
Yes. Yeah, it's a 5-degree difference. It's not it's that like hard.
Jimmy's using her.
Yes.
Like, yes, it could very easily swing, but they are nailing it. And I will say a thing actually a thing actually I do like about starting this late in a Superman movie, though, is I like that she already knows he's Superman as well.
Yeah.
I don't think that's ever all that interesting.
Yep.
Her finding out. Like, it's their relationship is her knowing and them figuring out the relationship from there. So her already knowing, I think, was just great. And them figuring out the difference between Superman and Clark.
Yeah. And just the comedy as well of playing it without the audiences knowing in that first Daily Planet scene of her being like, of her kind of like prodding how obvious it is that he is Superman, and then getting home and be like, I'm not the only one putting it together. Come on. So yeah, I like that as well. Playing with audiences' expectations and understanding of previous films, and then leading into just that tour de force scene of two actors who have great chemistry and know how to play both layers of their character.
Great chemistry, and since we're on Lois, I will also say I'm very pleasantly surprised at how much she got to do in this movie and how competent she was and how much she succeeded. I really love this because it can be kind of hard to give Lois stuff to do. She's a regular human, and there's detective-y things to do that are kind of like the Batman-y angle, which is like what journalism is at times. And so she can discover things, which is very helpful. But this movie where she just gets to be, she rallies the troops and she discovers the truth is kind of like Lois's thing. And that's very helpful and very important to the story. In some ways, she's doing kind of more than Superman. She ruins Lex's reputation. She gets the truth out.
Yep.
She rescues Superman by getting Mr. Terrific to help her. She's given so much agency and she's so good at her job, but she's not like taking over the movie. It's a wonderful balance. So writing-wise, I was also like, James Gunn wrote her great. love that. And so I was just wildly happy with Lois in every way.
And I think that like this movie being filled with a series of bullet points dunking on conservative people, one of them is the value of journalism, is one of the big things of this movie that I think is just beautiful and smooth. And on top of that, it is one of the few movies I've seen, outside of like Oscar bait docudramas where I'm like, oh, you actually understand how journalism works as well. Because that is one thing that every other iteration of this media, even for great and fun portrayals, like going back to like Reeve and Kidder, and like that's fun and great, but like nothing's ever shown how journalism works. Like the last iteration in the DCEU, Clark is a sports reporter. And then, like, Perry just comes in, he's like, you wrote about the murders in Gotham? It's like, you're the editor, Perry. Did you not approve this? So, like, none of it is how any papers work, and it doesn't make sense. But this one is like, no, Jimmy has sources. They're citing the sources. They're collaborating. They're pitching their editor the article. Here it is. They're writing. They're dictating. They're running it past the editor. They actually have a point of view, truth to tell, and word to put out. And I'm like,
they have evidence.
It's right. The writing of this movie was like, we know how journalism works, how it can impact the world, and we're going to show a person do that successfully and in a real way.
Speaking of which, I completely agree. But what I've absolutely loved seeing online after this movie came out is so many people who work at media outlets are like, oh my God, Jimmy used the CMS system right, the content management system, when he hit 3 different buttons to publish the article, like draft, editor review, post live.
Love it.
It was awesome.
Love it.
Somebody who works at a website was like, no, we have like several steps. You draft it, it's scheduled, editor review, post.
Yep. Love it. Love it.
So journalistic integrity and journalistic just reality.
Yes.
This
to see the CMS system. It's just like, oh yeah, that's how you do it.
It's weird to get an insight into the Daily Planet CMS system. Who was like, we need to see how it posts.
But
where's the like button?
But it's so quick and smooth that I'm like, this is the right level. Like I would take this, and it's so much less time, and it's so more real, and it's so much better than like cutting to Perry to be like, when did you publish this, Lois? And it's like, well, now we're explaining too much and none of it makes sense.
Also, it makes just a perfect amount of a tiny bit of tension, because the thing that I've heard directors talk about is that things on computers are inherently not exciting. You're just typing, or even if you're hacking, it's like you need to have like a progress bar so it looks like there's something going on or whatever. So even having a 3-step posting system is like, we have to go up. It's like 1, 2, and 3. It just makes it a little bit more of a build-up. So it's not just like, it's live.
It's live.
Just a little bit more build-up.
It's live.
So yeah, the posting of the major exploitative article, honestly, wildly fun and great. Also, since we're on people who are great, wow, Jimmy's awesome.
Dear God, he crushes it. He is absolutely incredible.
Skylar Gazondo, who was on Santa Clarita Diet?
Santa Clarita Diet, we've seen him on that. I the other day was rewatching Booksmart, and he's great in that as well. Like this guy is just a killer comedic performance with a lot of charm and fun to him. Really, really good.
What kind of like casting god was like, we're gonna give you this guy who's genuinely so funny and also looks exactly like comic book Jimmy Olsen? That's insane.
I am not a religious man, but this is as if God themselves molded Jimmy Olsen from clay and then had him walk this earth for 20 plus years waiting for the role that he was made for.
And it's wildly rare because David Cornsweet is a very good Superman, but people have been good Supermen before, and people have looked like Superman before and inhabited the idea of Superman before. I've never seen a Jimmy who I thought was Jimmy.
Yeah.
Until Skylar.
Yes.
I'm like, that's Jimmy. This is Iron Man RDJ level casting.
Of
for
like,
me.
oh, that's the dude forever.
That's Jimmy forever.
This is J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson. This is just a like, in every multiverse now, you're Jimmy.
And yeah, 100%.
And aside from being molded to look like him, just a great performance. Like the comedic timing, the beats, he's very likable.
The energy,
everything feels believable and real and funny and just great.
I don't have a problem with this, but why do you think women are super into Jimmy in this universe? What was with this running joke about this? I didn't get it.
I can't remember if that's a joke from recent comics. Is that like a new 52? I don't know. I don't know.
Seen it,
I kind of get it. He's got a magnetic energy about him. I was in.
I mean, I was in, but I think I was mostly in because I was like, he was so good on Santa Clarita Diet.
Yeah.
So I was like, I knew he was already going to be great. But yeah, when there's like this runner of just like women are super into Jimmy and he doesn't seem to think Eve is hot. And I'm like, she's like over the top, but she's categorically a hot lady.
Yeah.
I don't understand what's happening.
I don't understand I have blinders on and can't notice Eve is hot story. That's also a weird little subplot. But the everyone is attracted to Jimmy thing I got. Mm-hmm, I was like, yeah, well, Jimmy can get it.
His performance when she's like, he tortured a dog. Jesus Christ!
He's
so funny.
Yes. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
If we're going through performances then as well, Holtz Luther rules. Oh no, you don't like it?
I actually think a lot of this was direction for me.
Tell me more.
I think because all of his scenes are just wildly chaotic and energized and there's tons of angles and they never really sit and he feels like this very chaotic Luther. And that's a choice. And I think this is just a choice that's not for me. I like a very plotting Luther. I sit and I'm powerful and I'm confident. And this Luther's just really all over the place. He's shooting dudes in the head with a gun. He's knocking stuff over like a cat. It doesn't feel right to me. This feels like Jesse Eisenberg all over again. I didn't like this Luther. I think the only thing I liked at the end when he's freaking out and he's giving that speech about of course I'm envious. And it felt like I really wish he'd been really calm and powerful the whole time until this breaking speech. I felt like he was just really chaotic and never got a chance to sit. I would have loved one scene with Luther that was the equivalent of what we got with Lois and Clark. With that one quiet scene of actors acting. I don't feel like Nicholas Hoult got a scene of time for actors to act. Instead, he got to be B4, 8A, B7, kick. I just didn't do anything for me. I didn't like it.
Huh.
No, too chaotic for me. I'm so sorry, but I'd love to hear why you liked it. What you enjoyed about it.
I think it's very fun and perfect for this movie. So I'm not going to say that in the way that what's the name of the guy who played Jimmy Olsen?
Skyler.
Skyler, yeah. In the way that Skyler, I'm like, you're Jimmy Olsen. You are this character through and through. I'm not going to say that Nicholas Holt's performance is now when I read a Superman comic, I'll hear his voice as Lex Luthor. That's Clancy Brown for me. But Clancy Brown is
always Clancy Brown.
And voice actors do have the advantage of then being paired with animation and being the voice in my head going forward, reading a comic. But that is the plotting, intellectual, I kind of have a point, Luther. It's not full Magneto, I'm a villain who has a really strong point you should think about, but it's that Luther who's should we have a guy who just has the powers of a god around here? It's just something to think about. It's that plotting Luther is my preferred Luther. This Luther matches the tone and style of this movie, and Hoult performs it admirably. And that's where I'm at. I'm not this is Perma Luther, this is everything to me. I like that it's a chaotic mess. I like that he is just an absolute loser, just kind of a pathetic loser.
Just a pathetic tech loser.
Just a piece of shit. It feels like they split the difference between Hackman and comic book. Of the Gene Hackman of but I want to own beachfront real estate. Here's a dumb loser next to me, and then the comic book of I'm actually one of the smartest people, and I'm 9 moves ahead, and you're never gonna hold me accountable. And this felt they split the difference, and I actually kind of like that for the world, where it's a bit cartoony but also believable. And I really liked it. I really liked it. It was chaotic in a fun way. It felt a little bit Joker-esque of the you are kind of scary and unpredictable. And the fact that he does that murder, I really liked that scene as well. I liked the very movie trope of I'm spinning a revolver and I'm going to shoot. And the fact that it shoots on the second and he kills a guy and he's I thought that'd last longer. That felt very Joker-esque to me. Just someone looking at a revolver that they were playing Russian roulette with and just I thought it'd last longer. I'll see you tomorrow with someone else.
Okay, so we just really want different Luthers, because this is never what I want from my Luthor. This would have to be like a Luthor in like a third movie who has gone through a breaking point of like, I've been trying to kill Superman for 18 movies and I've just lost it. This to me isn't like my introduction to Luthor, who he should be. But I think this is what I said earlier about like, this is just kind of like taste more than it's bad.
Right.
This isn't the Luthor I wanted, but I don't think he's doing a bad job for what they've chosen to do, which is a chaotic, more insane Luthor.
And to your point of like you would like this in a third movie, it's a world in motion. You know what I mean? And I think that like they've created a good Luthor that fits this world where like it's like, God damn it, the Lantern showed up. This guy's an idiot. Look at his fucking haircut. Like, Stag Industries has created a justice gang that they fund. Like, it feels like a tired Luthor who has been dealing with this bullshit for a little while.
He has been. They do have a throwaway line where he says, this is the first time me and Superman have met. Because when Superman comes to find the dog, he's like, finally, we meet. I was like, oh, you guys haven't even talked? It's just one of those, like, I never even think about you situations again.
Probably.
Superman didn't know he had an arch nemesis.
And well, like, and also if you're Luthor, until you have a way to destroy him, you probably
don't
want to bump in. You don't want to know. Yeah, you don't want to.
You're not going to be like, I'm sending an army after you. Superman be like, well, you're not going to do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
I'm
not going to let you do that.
No.
Super strong.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
So he's a bit over the top. He's a bit silly, but so is the tone of this universe, or like it's a universe with multiple tones, which is another thing that I kind of enjoy as well, where it is, your golly gosh Superman, which I really adore, and it's sincere and it's charming, and I'm saving a squirrel, which is just like heartwarming and nice. And then for a very kind of family-oriented Superman like that, there's kind of douchebag Guy Gardner, and then there's Supergirl calling him a bitch, and I'm like, this feels real. This feels like it's a world that multiple people have different tones of how they experience and engage the world, and all are equally valid. And we're seeing Superman's journey of it, but it's not going to be weird when we see Supergirl's version of it, and I liked that.
Yeah, I think most of the time it worked. I think at some points it gets a little too much in the silliness for me. I think monkeys on typewriters. I think Lex just shooting that guy in cold blood was really off-putting to me. I was like, this doesn't fit what we've been doing at all. I didn't enjoy that. He didn't even want any information from Superman. I forget what he was even asking. But you're right, he's very Joker-esque in this. He's just trying to torture Superman. So I think there was the shifts were just slightly too big for me, but I acknowledge this is just a lighthearted movie, and it was. So I guess when it got dark, I was like, don't do that. This is a lighthearted movie.
Okay. Yeah, you don't shoot a man in the head and have 1,000 monkeys on typewriters.
Right next to him.
Right next to it. Yes.
Yeah, unless you're going to say, like, this is just, like, a clone or something again, or, like, it's not really a human, it was a hologram. But it was just some dude who sold falafel who was actually dead at the end.
Yeah.
Upsetting.
Yeah.
Didn't care for that.
It was very upsetting.
But yeah, the tones were interesting. I can live with it. It's not like my favorite tones, but I was like, this works.
Yeah. And not monkeys on typewriters, monkeys on social media, shit posting.
You need you need a keyboard.
You need a keyboard.
All right, keyboard.
Yeah. The monkeys on typewriters is the like writing Shakespeare analogy.
But if you give them a keyboard,
it's them just posting on Twitter.
Oh, let me also say, very bold of this movie to introduce as a plot point #supershit. Because if your movie had been bad and people hadn't liked it,
it could have been #supershit.
That really could have actually been trending on every social media.
You could have walked in it.
Every single headline would have been like, Superman's worst nightmare. He's #supershit.
#supershit.
If I hadn't liked this movie, I'd be using that to the ground.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. James did kind of give the ammunition to.
He loaded the gun.
Yeah. He gave the kryptonite bullet in this one.
And he was like, I trust you guys aren't going to need to use this.
Yeah. That is very interesting.
It was bold.
That was bold.
And even like Superman hates it when you say it.
Yeah.
Superman doesn't like it.
Yep. I think generally as well on the #supershit, I like all of the dunks on conservative people that this movie takes, and I also like that it's refreshingly pro-Palestine as well. That's kind of cool. There's a lot of stuff that's nice about this. All of the dunks on just like, the idiotic spread of misinformation through social media that lacks the journalistic integrity that Lois and the Daily Planet have by exposing the truth later on. How quickly like hate and vile spread, just monkeys on keyboards, just bot farming out hate for people. Even just like the language that they use of conservative television talking points of calling Superman a groomer and
Yes.
I forget saying that he has a harem of wives we don't know about. Just like all of these dunks on conservative talking points, I found it really fun. Like there was a point where I'm just like, yeah, they're down, and we're all on the same side, but I'm still entertained by like all of these dunks. Yeah,
I'm for it. I will say it didn't make me feel good for reasons of like it was coming at Superman, and I like Superman, so I was like, stop it. But like, it made you feel like you're on the receiving end of conservative talking points, which like sucked. I was like, this sucks. It doesn't feel good. But the movie is not endorsing it. The movie is like, these people are idiots. Look at them flip-flop. Look at them not checking if things are real. Although, like, this is
there
a longer
was validity,
point.
but
This is a point for later.
to the video,
but, that I'll talk about. But the dunking on conservatives, I did enjoy for the most part. Pro-Palestine, absolutely great. I guess I thought it was weird. I didn't really like the way that like nice people were flip-flopping so fast. I thought that was just really, I know this is like a silly movie, but like people like that, they'd interview people like, I've been pro Superman my whole life and I think he's great. But then that video of his parents came out and I threw a can of tomatoes at his head. I'm like, wait, why? If a video of my parents came out, I would hope you would be like, hey, do you think your parents are right?
Right.
I would wait for maybe a response.
Yeah.
I know that's very different when it's like an alien who's come to your world and like this is his backstory and he's not like a human.
Yeah.
So you don't know a lot about him, but it was still just a wildly fast and harsh flip-flop. And then flip-flopping the other way also was too unbelievable with like networks being like, we were wrong. Sorry, Superman. I'm like, absolutely no. No one ever just says that.
Is it possible, though, that this is James Gunn once again telling his life?
Oh, you know what?
Because I actually think
he got to
like
be a piece of shit and come back.
it seems extreme when it is people in person. I agree. Like people don't actually change that quickly in real life when face to face with someone that they need to confront what's wrong with them.
Yeah,
so the
you
people
need time to process and like look at the facts. Reasonable people.
Or just like people are reactionary and hate-filled and will blow up quickly online, but not in person. So when the news comes on, it's like playing in, the equivalent of Times Square or whatever. It's playing on TVs outside. And someone's looking at Superman and he just saved a squirrel and they see this video and they're like, boo, fuck you, Superman. I'm like, no, actually, in person, no one turns that quickly.
No, he just caught a monster that was going to crush you.
But I do agree what this movie is saying about the court of public opinion and how people will quickly change on someone given any piece of information that they would like to interpret as negative or negatively reflecting that person. And I think this is James Gunn once again telling just the story of what he went through, which was having online backlash between the first and second Guardians movie and being
2 and 3?
was it? I think either or.
Either way.
Either way, the public was like, we hate you. You're the worst. And then Marvel fired him. And then everyone was like, actually, he rules. Bring him back. And it was like, no, I'm back again now. Everybody agreed. And I think that this is what he went through to a certain degree. And it's him kind of writing his perspective on how quickly people will turn on you when given the opportunity. Everyone online is looking for the next villain.
That's fair. Online, absolutely. Online, even me would be like, oh, I thought we knew Superman. Like, actually, I think I probably would tweet that. If I was face to face with Superman, I agree, though. It would just be like, is that real? And he'd be like, no. I'd be like, oh, cool.
Cool. And especially a man who is a god. Like, how quick,
I'm not throwing a can at a god.
It comes off as weird when it's people face to face and it's a god.
And it's a god.
It's different.
It's a guy who's been real nice.
Yes.
All right, we have to talk about the message.
Before
the message?
One final silly thing that I really liked about this movie that has been something that Marvel and DC previously has done wrong. I really liked Michael Ian Black as the conservative journalist on television because I have wanted and been screaming for so long, we need to get back to actors playing journalists in TV shows within movies. Because DC and Marvel has done it where they're just like, hey, it's actual Wolf Blitzer reporting on Superman. Doesn't that make the movie look real? And I'm like, no, it actually takes me out of the movie and makes me distrust Wolf Blitzer more. Like, I'm just like, no, actually, it makes CNN look worse in the real world, and it makes me believe this movie less. Get an actor playing, and I know Marvel has done it, I forget with who, but check it out, it's Rachel Maddow talking about Iron Man. Doesn't that make you really feel like you're in it? And I'm like, I actually
happened, yeah.
I actually don't like that actual real world television anchor is in this make-believe world.
Yeah,
and
I don't like sitting here being like, do I like this anchor or not? I don't actually watch American news very often. How do I feel about this? I'm here to watch a different universe. I've already got so many things I need to know about this fucking universe.
And either way, it just takes me out of it. It sucks. Put an actor in here. I never like it when it's stunt casting of an actual news anchor. I want it to be an actor. So I liked seeing Michael Ian Black as this dude, and I think he was good casting. But get back to actors playing journalists within films.
I'm totally
Stop
cool
doing
with that.
stunt casting.
I think that's absolutely great. Actors acting. Yeah, stunt casting with news reporters. Yeah, it doesn't really do anything.
No. Makes me dislike all of it. But that's just a little aside.
All right, it's never actively make me dislike anything, but I agree about you're out of it for me. Like, is that the real Wolf Blitzer? Is his name Wolf?
His name Wolf. Well, what?
Sometimes you just forget that guy's name was Wolf.
Yeah. Anderson Cooper? What are you doing here?
He's been there.
I think he's been in a couple of them. Yeah.
One of my least favorite things in this movie, by far, possibly my most disliked thing, is the fact that this message is apparently real and not just a mistranslation from his parents. The second half of the message that is just absolute nonsense and not in the same tone. Like, at the end of the movie, they seem to have accepted that was the real message.
I think this is based on a famous comic book storyline of that's the message they sent him to Earth with, was help them, and if they don't want to be helped, rule them.
I not what I found when I was on some boards. People were like, I have not seen this version of his parents before.
Interesting. Okay.
And I really dislike it. I think it really is. I think it really character assassinates his parents. I don't like canceling Jor-El and Laura. They're milkshake ducking as soon as they're introduced to the public of Metropolis.
Interesting.
And I don't think it makes any sense. And I really, really hate it.
Huh.
Yeah. I don't think, I can't imagine, because let's just go with Jor-El here, because he's, I think, the scientist more than Lara. It's just so insane and it doesn't fit what this movie's saying. This movie's saying is, you're not who you are, you're what you do. And you know what these people did? They put their son in a rocket and saved his life instead of themselves. Those are their actions. Mm-hmm. So for their message to be rule them without mercy, kill them if they get in your way, enslave them. I'm like, Jor-El would have taken the rocket.
Right.
If Jor-El is mega harem and spread our seed, he would have left his wife and son and just gone.
Yeah.
If this is what these people believe. And it's just not the sacrificial parents tone, and I really, really didn't like it. It really just threw these guys under the bus, and I couldn't believe there wasn't just a at the end oh no, they totally mistranslated that.
Interesting. Okay. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. So I'm not going to defend that one too much. And you know what? I think what I might be thinking of that I had read was the tone that they take. I think there's a version of Ultraman in the comics that is a Superman from a different dimension where Jor-El did say that.
Okay, that I'd believe.
So I think there's been multiple versions of Ultraman throughout the years, but I think there's one that is an Earth 3 Superman where that was the message Jor-El sent him with. So I think that this might go into what I'd like to talk about next, but not to jump off of this, but the Ultraman being kind of 4 or 5 different comic book things they've meshed into one idea, and maybe the Jor-El stuff is a bit of that, but I won't defend it too much. I didn't love it. I just kind of nothinged all the Jor-El stuff.
Yeah, I think I was surprised by how much I hated it. I think because I've loved every Jor-El actor. I think Brando's so interesting. Russell Crowe is the highlight of Man of Steel easily.
Yeah.
And I was like, how dare you come for my man Jor-El, who I think is always wildly interesting, who saved his son, who went against the whole Council of Krypton.
Yeah.
So yeah, this felt unnecessarily rude.
Yeah, and I don't know if Bradley Cooper's the guy either.
Yeah. I love Bradley Cooper.
I like Bradley Cooper.
But he doesn't feel like Superman's dad.
Yeah, the vibes weren't right.
The vibes weren't there.
And it's hard to say when they're speaking Kryptonian and not even... But I'm like, the vibes of this hologram speaking not a human language is still just doesn't quite feel right, Bradley Cooper.
Doesn't work super well. And I apologize whoever's skeet this is I read, made a great point that was like, when Kara leaves Krypton, she's like 13. Can you just ask her if your parents were cool? Like, hey, Kara, were my parents like, did they like harems?
Were they cool?
Were they into harems or enslavement in any way? Did you know that you noticed that you picked up on?
What is their deal? Because I'm saving squirrels.
I'm doing my best out here. I don't think they'd like that. I did that.
Huh?
Huh?
Huh? Yeah. All right. So it is a weird thing.
Yeah. So I was very much against it.
Okay. I'm with you on this one.
Thank you so much.
I'm with you on this one. I'm sorry I've disagreed on. I've been so disagreeable, but I'm with you on this.
No, you haven't been disagreeable. I think we've both been on the same track for the most part of agree disagree. But yeah, it was insane to me at the end that like the robots weren't just like, oh no, everything was mistranslated. They didn't say make a harem. They said we hope you find a family. Like it's so easy to just retranslate everything to a like there's no tone indicators. Maybe they were joking.
Yeah, it could have been.
Sarcasm.
It could have been a goof or something like that. Yeah, or the fact that Lex Luthor doesn't doctor the footage at all. Yeah.
I think you would.
Yeah, so I think like one of the themes that they're trying to tell is the like, or with that, but it just might be kind of cheap. Is the like, you are what you interpreted from that says more about you than what that speech was. The line that Jonathan kind of says to him, which is nice, but I don't think is the arc of the movie. It's just kind of a random theme that they drop in.
Well, I think the arc of the movie is him like giving up this like that his parents told him to do good and that's why he's good, and realizing he's just good. You are what you do, and he's good, and he's been doing good. And he's like, it's not because of a video. It's because you're a nice guy.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, those are my most important thing I had to get off my chest about Superman.
Shake it out. Get it out.
It's gone. All right. I talked about the message. Really bothered me. I didn't know I liked Jor-El that much. Nothing against Laura.
I also didn't know that Jor-El meant
I learned about myself
so much to you
watching this movie.
Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about the Ultraman of it all. The Ultraman / Bizarro / Connor / kind of a mishmash of a few different comic book storylines of a character, which I think is kind of interesting to mix things up and make it a little bit different and unpredictable. So Ultraman, as he is portrayed in the trailers or whatever, is fighting Superman, and it's a clone of Superman.
It's a clone of Superman. I don't mind, I guess, the mishmash of like he's Ultraman, he's a clone, so that makes him Connor. He's
a bit Bizarro.
He's dumb, so he's probably Bizarro. He's a little bit of everything. I don't like that the movie's not about this character. I think when you find out there's an evil clone of you, that's the movie. Like, that's really, like, the core of, like, am I good or not? It's like, well, there's a clone of me. Is the clone good? Like, there's so much to explore about that.
Yeah.
So the reveal that Ultraman's been a clone of Superman the whole time, I think is too late for me to super enjoy. But I definitely don't mind this, like, mishmash. I like that it all tied in of, like, I like a late reveal of how they got into the fortress. Like, oh, okay, I thought they just didn't explain it, but all right, movie. You had a reason of how they got into the fortress. And explained, like, I also think they did a good misdirect in the beginning when Ultraman is the Hammer of Bavaria or whatever.
Yeah.
Because the Hammer of Bavaria has all this armor on, so I thought Ultraman was just tech-based. Because, Luthor loves building armor to fight Superman.
Oh, loves it, yeah.
Luthor fucking loves. So I was like, oh, Ultraman's tech-based. So they actually really tricked me in this, like, clone idea. I did not see it coming.
Right.
So, like, good writing in that way. I think it was too late a reveal, but overall I enjoyed it.
It's a layer on a layer. It's a clone in an Ultraman costume in a Hammer of Bavaria costume.
Yeah, there's no airflow.
There's too much shit on me.
Yeah.
There's too much fucking shit on me.
I'm glad they established that Superman / Bizarro doesn't need to breathe for an hour, because he definitely can't.
Yeah, he definitely cannot. Also, is it just me, or did the clone version of him, and it's still David Cornsweet, but it looked a lot like Henry Cavill?
Oh, I thought it looked like, I disagree. I thought he looked exactly like Brendan Fraser when he has long hair.
Oh, because of the curls? Okay.
Yeah, I was like, George of the Jungle?
Interesting.
Brendan Fraser?
That's very
So no,
interesting.
I didn't see. I mean, I also think David Cornswet and Henry Cavill just look a lot alike.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yep.
So I didn't see Cavill. I was like, Brendan Fraser from the 90s.
I can see
is
it.
here.
I can see it.
The long hair really changed the whole look of David Cornswet's face to me. That was very interesting.
Yeah, I can see that.
That to me was more of an interesting transformation than glasses.
Is the longer, stringier hair makes you very Brendan Fraser?
Yeah, what if he Batwoman-esque had a wig on?
Ah, you could do that too. But he's got the
your
hypno glasses, which is fun.
Ah, that's fun.
I like that it's the hypno glasses. I liked that scene with Green Lantern. I really liked that back and forth of so you know he's Clark. Oh my God, Lois.
He tells everyone his secret. Yeah, I wouldn't trust Guy Gardner with that. I'd trust Mr. Terrific.
And just Lois being like, you shouldn't be saying it in case I don't know it. Her getting frustrated with his idiocy. That's
that
good
whole
stuff.
scene of the Justice Gang Lair is really good. All the
Terrific.
back and forths going on there.
And they're all expertly cast. Nathan Fillion, we're all a fan of, but this Mr. Terrific and Hawkgirl are also a treat. Just an absolute nail.
I mean, Eddie Gathegi as Mr. Terrific is probably the highlight of this movie for me.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
I think he's great. I mean, he also gets really fun stuff to do. The slow rising garage door. Holy shit, that's
Great
funny.
joke.
That's not him so much as just direction, but it's wildly funny. But yeah, he's just lit for me. He is just energizing every scene. He's got this I think he's maybe what I wanted from Luther. He's just calm and powerful and smart and confident. But he's not too arrogant, but he's I am the smartest guy here, guys. I got it. Don't worry.
And performance-wise, the fact that he's able to take something that could easily slip into monotoned and boring, and he's made it very controlled and powerful, which there's a fine line difference, and it takes a good performer to figure out where that is. With the wrong actor can easily slip into just monotone, boring person, but he's playing very controlled and measured, and changes his tonality and kind of breaks the what'd you say a couple of times.
Yeah. They're spheres.
They're spheres.
Balls are two-dimensional.
Yeah. Maintaining composure really highlights when he loses composure, and it's a very nice performance that he gives.
It's a very nice performance. It's really nicely balanced against Nathan Fillion doing very silly as the leader.
Yeah.
A straight man and a silly man is always going to work better than we're all a little bit straight or we're all a little bit silly.
Yeah.
So he is kind of the only non-silly thing going on in most of this world. He's really nailing it. Nathan Fillion's also great. But he's also it feels like the movie really likes him. He gets my favorite action scene, which is Lois in the bubble and it's music going on and the balls are just killing all the guards. Easily my favorite action scene in the movie. Leaps and bounds.
Yes. Yeah.
It rules.
This one felt very Guardians of the Galaxy.
It did feel very
It felt the most Guardians that James had been in this movie, but it felt very much there's the opening sequence in Guardians 2 and the hallways shot in Guardians 3. It felt very that.
Yeah, it felt very
but
that.
It worked.
Yeah, I was we're in the James Gunn of it all right now. But
we felt knee deep in James Gunn in that one.
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't
There's
you?
no problem with a musical action scene. And even just neat stuff with his powers where he's he can see where Superman's walked because he put nanites in his blood and I have nanites in all your blood. It's just fun.
Yeah, and Guy Gardner just looking down at his own arms
trying to find it.
What? That worked. Yeah. And to circle back to Ultraman, if that's all right.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
No. I'm the one who put us off of all. I got distracted by myself. The Ultraman of it all, of him kind of looking like Henry Cavill, in my opinion.
Oh, yes, of course.
So I wasn't sure if that in itself was meant to be a criticism of the Snyderverse, of this is an Ultraman who's tearing down the city and doesn't care who's dying. Well, this is a Superman who's scooping everyone up and saving squirrels from buildings that are falling over. Even when that vortex opens for the Pocket Universe, everything in there is very boom tube. What is the box? The Mother box inspired, which is very Zack Snyder's Justice League and Superman in the black costume. And I know that this Ultraman, it's they're using a mash of what in the comics is an Earth 3 Ultraman, and it's a bit bizarro because he's a dumb guy who ends up in a parallel dimension through a black hole. It's a little bit Connor, the clone son of Lex and Superman. It's a few different things, but I'm is it also a veiled criticism of how bleak the Snyderverse Superman was.
And
I'm not sure.
And we're just going to kick him into a black hole?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then close that universe up.
I like the idea. I don't think he has to look like Henry Cavill for that to work as the idea. I think just black suit, grimness, and I'm dark Superman is enough to be like, I think that might be Snyder's Superman.
And their fight scene of like flying up to Superman's Metropolis and then Ultraman's Pocket Universe or whatever, like it felt like it was moving between those two worlds and universes is what it felt like to me at times.
Okay.
But that might be me. It might be a reach. That might be a reach and not necessarily the directorial intent of the film.
Okay. I think I have one more negative that I have to hit.
Of course.
I think this is another very much like not necessarily bad, but a like versus a dislike. I did not like how casual the people of Metropolis were about monster attacks. This felt very Jurassic World dinosaurs are boring to me. And because like the people, like, you know, there's a giant monster and like Superman's got it under control, but people still aren't running away. They're all just watching. And Superman's only been around for 3 years and you're still a squishy human and he's not that super. Like you can easily die here. And it happens again with the imp that's like just being fought in the background. They're very cavalier about like these monsters that are attacking Metropolis. And it really takes away like all the stakes of Act 3. I'm like, well, apparently we're not supposed to care about anything that happens to Metropolis. Apparently, like you'll be fine fighting Ultraman and this breach will just heal itself because the imp would have been cool. I kind of wanted to know about that. And no one cared about the monster. So it was very like Jurassic World thinks dinosaurs are boring to me. And then Act 3 didn't do enough to like pull me out of that vibe of like, it's okay when we're attacked. We literally don't care about it. So I do think that's a poor choice of the movie. I wouldn't mind if the heroes were bored by it because this happens all the time.
I was
think
just
the
about
fact
to...
that the citizens are bored. Like they keep cutting to this guy who's like literally right next to the monster and he's just eating yogurt and he won't leave his store because he's like, they got it. And that's a different kind of movie of like, we're so bored by this. It has to be like year 20 of kaiju attacks in Pacific Rim or something. But 3 years in isn't enough. And yeah, so I really would have liked if the people of Metropolis, because also Superman lost a fight recently.
Yeah.
The people of Metropolis should be like, oh shit.
We're in trouble.
We're not safe.
I think I'm in danger.
So that's I think my final negative of the movie for me. I was like, these people need to be more worried or else there's no stakes in this film.
I agree. I agree with you on that. I'm with it. It's not something I had really thought about. I think I kind of nothinged it during the movie. I agree with you definitely, at least on a human or city scale. I do like the scene of the imp in the background of Superman being cavalier about it. I did think that scene could have used an extra line or two of like Superman being like, it's a dimensional imp. It drains energy from the power grid, but no one's going to get hurt. They got it. Like just a little line and be like, no one this thing's annoying. It's super annoying. We don't want to lose power tonight. But
no one's going to die.
It doesn't eat people. It tries to eat electricity, and it's just really annoying. Something like that I feel like could have added a lot. And then it is fun that there's this kind of beautiful but weird thing happening in the background, and he trusts that Lantern's got it. But yeah, on the ground level and the human level, I do agree that they're a bit too cavalier about stuff that's going on. Yeah.
I also could have done with less of the imp in that background. I didn't hear anything Lois and Clark said to each other that entire scene, and I actually think it might have been a really nice scene, like the scene earlier that they had about their relationship. And I couldn't stop looking at the fight in the background. I was like, I think I just missed a lot of acting. I wouldn't mind showing it and then like just like making it go behind a curtain and you just see it every now and then or something. Like
right.
I don't dislike the idea that much, but like in terms of just, like I'd have to see the movie again to even know what happened in that scene.
I mean, that scene, I know it at least ended with the line that gutted me. That was like the first big cry I had of the movie, of him talking about like saving Crypto, and he was like, and just the line where he's just like, he's not even a good dog. But he's somewhere, he's alone,
scared.
And he's probably scared, and so he needs me. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's so heartfelt. Just, there's something about conditioning it as well to be like, he's not even that good a dog. It's like, I'll do this for anyone. Like,
I will save any squirrel. I will save any human. It's why I went to Jontapur, or whatever that country was called. I just don't let people die.
I'm anti-murder.
I'm anti anyone being scared or afraid or held against their will in a pocket dimension or or murdered. And that is a really like incredibly well delivered and well written line.
Yeah, I think like the three things that got me was like the first interview with Lois, when she is kind of grilling him and he's like, do you really believe that? And she's like, no, but this is what journalists ask. And I'm like, love the journalistic integrity on Lois. But when he is having that breakdown to be like, but you took a side in this thing. Like, are you saying that, what side did which is right? And he's just like, they were going to be murdered. And like him just breaking down to be like, I don't want anyone to be murdered. Like him just being an anti-murder superhero. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's nice. Yeah, the line about crypto just ripped me up. And then I think I also really liked him yelling at Lex at the end, too, when he's just like, I wake up every day and I'm worried and I'm trying my best and I'm scared. But that's what makes, like, Superman yelling that he gets scared at Lex. I was like, fuck me. God damn it, I love this guy. I love this Superman guy.
No, he is a good Superman. Yeah. Like the problems I have with this movie are slightly structural, but like this is Superman and it feels nice.
It is Superman.
It's Superman, you guys. That's him. That's what you're supposed to feel, and that's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to try to save everyone, even if it's a dog.
Yeah.
Even if it's...
And crypto rules, I think they might have overused them by 10%.
I actually also have that note of, like, comedies in threes, and I think they use them, like, 6 times as, like, a, like, surprise crypto beat.
Yeah.
But he's very, very cute. I love when he sits on Lois's lap in the T-Mobile. That's the best one. That's the best, like, this is what dogs do, and you literally can't move him because he's got super strength.
Yeah, yeah. It can't be called the T-Mobile.
I don't think it is, but I couldn't think of...
T-Mobile is a cell phone provider, and I'm like, he's got to get on that T-Mobile money.
T-car?
The T-car, the T-ship or something like that.
Anyway,
Yeah.
The T-Mobile.
The T-Mobile.
They'd be furious. Or they love it.
Be like, it's a pronunciation difference. What do we... The T-Mobile brought to you by T-Mobile.
It's the British version of T-Mobile. But yeah, he was very cute. But yeah, slightly overused. I agree by about 10%.
Yeah, so just a little
which
too much.
Which is a weird thing for me to say about a dog.
I know.
But this isn't like a movie that's like Superman and Crypto.
Yeah.
It's a movie that Crypto's just kind of supposed to be in a little bit.
Yeah, he's cute and I'd die for him, but he's just in there like 10% too much.
Of course we'd all die for him.
He's Crypto. I liked Metamorpho too. I like that little story.
I think that's Element Man and not Metamorpho. I think those are different guys. But
they are different guys, but I thought Lex said Metamorpho.
I thought he said Element Man.
Huh.
Oh, this IMDb
the IMDb
garbage.
is a mess too. Yeah.
Guys, we would love to verify this, but the IMDb is oh no, it's Metamorpho.
Yeah.
No, my bad. Oh, I think he just kept talking about elements, so maybe I thought it was Element Man.
Okay.
But yeah, it's Metamorpho. Yeah, this was another one where I didn't like that there was a little bit of a distraction, but like when he makes the sun to power Superman up, I'm like, this is the kind of moments I want with a Superman. Like, I'll make a sun to charge you to save my child. Like this is how people should believe in Superman.
And Superman punching through the glass and immediately saving that child to be like, yeah, of course I'm going to save your child. Like this. Yeah.
I would do it if I could right now. Like, no, I'm literally just held back by the lack of kryptonite in here.
Let me in, coach.
But yeah, he had a nice little story. Again, like, didn't feel like I was like being set up for a Metamorpho movie. Like, he just felt like part of the universe. Yeah, they did a great job there.
All right, well, let's go in for the close. Let's ask the final question of what would you change? So now that we have discussed everything we've discussed, what would you change about this if you could change anything? Before we do ask the final question, we will remind you, as we do every week, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Wherever you're listening to this, you can leave us a 5-star review, and we'd really like that.
We'd really like it. It helps us move up the charts, find new listeners, and when new listeners find us, they check those reviews. It makes it more likely that people will actually hit download, subscribe, and give us a chance. And we want to be expanding and growing. That's how we keep the lights on and do everything around here. So please, it's a free way to support the show. Do it if you have a minute. And as well, if you'd like to support the show monetarily and get cool bonuses for doing so, you can check us out over on Patreon at patreon.com/FromSuperheroes. Lots of cool bonuses there. You can get these episodes early and ad-free, which is awesome when we're covering new stuff. And then also, you can get a exclusive bonus episode of this podcast every single month. This month we talked about Ironheart, and I think that was actually a really great conversation.
That was a really interesting conversation. Yeah, the new Disney Plus show, you can only hear a review on patreon.com/fromsuperheroes. We go through the whole season.
So check it out. If you have a little bit in the budget, you can sign up for a year and then get 1 month free, or you can do monthly, in which case you can always cancel or change your subscription on any given month, depending on what your level is. And those are so important to us, and we love you, our patrons. So check it out, patreon.com/fromsuperheroes. That's patreon.com/fromsuperheroes. And now, let's go in for the close. Let's ask the final question. Now that we've discussed everything, Diana, what would you change about this movie if you could change anything?
I have several changes, and I think with these changes,
Real me energy. You're rare with a several change energy.
But I think these little tweaks would really bring it to a love for me. So I'm gonna get this movie to a love for Diana. First change, this is a point we disagree on, but I want more of a status quo of what Superman's happening. I think he comes down in the middle of the fight, whatever. I think when he gets blasted by all the sun in the Fortress of Solitude, I'm going to get some flashbacks to his life before that. Not like full scenes, just kind of like montagey stuff like we're seeing with the hologram of his parents, of like landing, meeting Lois, just what the world's like outside of this scene as a status quo setter. So just a couple of flashbacks during the getting blasted by sunlight scene where he gets healed up. He kind of like goes unconscious for a second, maybe. Sees a couple things. My bigger ones are, actually I have a small one. So Marvel does this thing with fake countries where whenever they introduce a fake country, they make sure they introduce a character from that country, which I think makes it so much better. Like Wakanda is not real, but everyone from Black Panther is from there. So Wakanda feels represented. Latveria is not real, but Doctor Doom is from there. So you're like, this is the representative of Latveria. It feels like a real country. No one is from either of these two countries that are battling, and there might be a line about this, but I'm going to add it in. I think the falafel guy should be from Jaran-Tapur.
Okay, yeah.
And I think when he sees Superman, he should be like, thank you for saving my country. Like, just like, there needs to be some representative from these countries.
It grounds it with a person we know the name of, kind of a thing.
Yes, a person we feel for, the person we know. It's more, because, the way Lois is saying it is how we see most things, of like, we'll have the people running the country talk to each other. And it's like, no, the people who live there don't want to die. And I like that grounding idea of that. So if they didn't have that in there, maybe there was a line. But I think that the falafel guy who was killed should be from the country getting invaded. For a little bit of representation, for a bit of like, please save us if they come back. Do it again. And then my biggest change is about Bizarro. I'm going to call him Bizarro even though to me, he's Bizarro. I would like the reveal of Bizarro to happen much earlier because I think this is really important and it's like a huge character. So I'm going to have the reveal of Bizarro happen in the pocket dimension when he's getting kryptonited. Mm-hmm. So, and then while he's weak, when he gets out, when he's got kryptonite poisoning, it's even more of a like Dark Night of the Soul. He's like, there's a clone of me and he's doing evil. Like, maybe I'm not a force of good. Maybe I haven't brought good things to this earth. Like, if this is me and he's doing bad things, what does that mean? And then when he fights Bizarro, he fought Bizarro and he got rid of Lex's influence, but then Bizarro never got to, like, be free? I'm going to say that he, like, gets Lex's stuff on him and he's like, what do you want to do? And then the breach has to be closed by someone going into it, and Bizarro's going to go into the breach to close it. And then Superman's going to be like, oh, wait, every version of me is good. If you give people free will and like their own choices and the power to make them, they make the right choices most of the time. So Bizarro's actually going to save Metropolis. He's going to go into the breach because the only way to close it is from inside. And Superman's going to be willing to do it. Bizarro's going to be like, no, Bizarro time. And he's going to do it. And that's how we get rid of Bizarro instead of just sending this like poor manipulated guy into a black hole who I actually feel really bad for. So those are my big changes. Falafel guys from Jantapur, a few more flashbacks. Bizarro's introduced earlier and means more. Those are my changes for Superman. Andrew, what would you change?
I like where your head's at. I really like the adding a character from the fictionalized country so that it actually grounds it a little bit more.
It also makes it feel like less of a savior complex thing. Like if a character is from there and is like, this is how we feel about it. And
1,000%. So yeah, I really like that. And I think similar to you, I'm going to go with a change for Ultraman. And I'm actually kind of torn about this change because it is a mishmash, as we discussed, of a few different comic book storylines, and it all it kind of needs to pick a lane, but that does involve kind of bigger changes. Like the idea that you're pitching of like he can choose, like, you know, the reveal happens and it's like, well, Lex has been controlling you, but who do you want to be? And now we're talking about a clone that we're conversing with, and it's about parental figures, and that's kind of Connor. That's kind of Connor Kent from the comics, to be like, I was cloned, I'm the son of Superman and Lex Luthor, who's my dad, kind of a conversation. So that's a very different thing. And then there's Bizarro, because like Lex calls him dumb, but it's like, what kind of dumb? Are you like, I'm not good at math dumb? Or are you like, me bad bye, me Bizarro, leave room now? Like
or did he mean mute? Because he never talks.
Yeah. Are you mirror universe, say things backwards dumb? Are you just not a natural leader? Like, what kind of dumb are you? Like Clark is? Like, what kind of dumb? So I think it needs to, I do think that it needs to pick a lane. I would probably go for the from the pocket universe or a different dimension. I would go for like the full Ultraman of like, I am a Superman, and here's how I would tie it all in. We still get that message, the one that makes Jor-El look bad, the one that where it's just like conquer, but that message that Lex reveals to the world and all the specialists are like, it's valid, it's fully valid. That was the message that Ultraman was sent with in his dimension. So that's why it's the exact. That's why Clark is like, "What is this message? Oh my God! It's the exact same parents. It's valid. It is a real footage."
But they're reversed.
It's the one that Ultraman / Bizarro or whatever was sent with, and Lex found this guy in the pocket dimension. He was out looking for someone to stop Clark and found an idiot that he can manipulate, and he's dumb because he destroyed worlds and never found parents. He was never raised. Like, that's why he's just that kind of, he needs someone to help him and manipulate him. So I think rather than a clone, it's someone Lex found in the other dimension, and this message was the message they were sent with.
I love all of that, mostly because I will also say I never really liked clones because I'm like, they're just going to make another one. Cloning is too easy.
Yeah.
So like finding a singular Superman that you can control is like more unique, and it's more like he can't just make another clone of Superman when he gets out of prison later.
Yeah.
So I love that. I love the idea of like, yeah, the message is legitimate, but it's not from Clark's parents. That all works great. This all works great, babe.
Thank you.
Love that.
Thank you. I was coming up with that on the fly as I said it, because there were like 9 different directions we could go with this.
I like that it removes the Connor stuff, because actually Connor Superboy is one of my favorite characters. So I would hate for him. So I would hate for him to be like out of canon just because we've already like used a clone of Superman before. So I would love that change, because I'm worried we're not going to get a Connor now.
Yeah. But without a clone, without a clone raised by Lex, we remove the Connor Kentness of it all, and now we have kind of an Ultraman Bizarro combination of an evil guy from a different dimension who's also kind of a dumb, I'll do whatever kind of Bizarro guy.
Love it.
Yeah.
Great changes.
Sweet. We did it.
We did it.
Hell yeah. Pooh.
Listen to us, James Gunn.
Please.
Please.
Or don't. I don't know. That might be too much.
We've been really mean to you in the past.
We've also been very complimentary to him. He's been a mixed bag.
You have had many chances, sir. But you've done well with several of them.
Well, that is going to do it for us this week on the podcast. Next week on the podcast, we're going to keep this Superman energy going, and we're going to be talking about Superman 2, the Christopher Reeves Superman 2, next week on the podcast. And once again, if you are in the Vancouver area, I will be performing at Chillax Studios on July 19th. And as well, if you are next weekend at San Diego Comic-Con, we will be there. We will be hanging around. Look around for us. Meet up with us. Send us a message. Also be doing a couple of shows in the area. So keep an eye on my social media for that. I am everywhere at Ivamy, IVIMEY.
You can find me at Words of Diana and also at San Diego Comic-Con. If you think you saw me, you probably saw me. We'll be there.
We'll be there. And we don't have anything to do yet, but we'll be there. And if you want to find both of us, you can check all of our socials at From Superheroes and find everything we create over on our website, fromsuperheroes.com. And we'll talk to y'all next week.
Bye.